Okay, we're ready when you are.
Okay, our presentation is on Hurricane Maria. Our team thesis is Hurricane Maria has made it impossible for Puerto Rico to prosper economically and politically. There is not enough money for repair, survival, and livelihood.
So background information on Puerto Rico and Hurricane Maria. Hurricane Maria was a Category 4 storm that hit Puerto Rico on September 16, 2017. This hurricane was the most powerful hurricane to hit Puerto Rico in 80 years. Maria has caused a tremendous amount of deaths, from 793 to 8,498, and damage up to about 139 billion. The hurricane has made it so much harder to recover from the prior hurricanes of Irma and Harvey. Why this issue matters. This issue matters as people are still without power, food, housing, and jobs. Survival independently is already hard, but for families of large households, survival is even harder. While trying to recover, Puerto Rico is receiving no help from the U.S., even though they are a U.S. territory. Puerto Rico's government and FEMA, which is a Federal Emergency Management Agency, have put together certain recovery projects, such as Advanced Warning System, which will modernize emergency notifications for island residents, enhanced emergency planning, which allows providers to give real-time critical information to the Puerto Rico Health Department about available services, new water testing facility, and stable power grid.
Our first claim is there is little money for repairs.
So everyone isn't granted the same resources because of the condition of their home with deeds, mortgages, and etc. So some houses have money owed on them. So if your house has money owed on it, you can't really get assistance for it because you haven't paid on the house that you technically own. And to add on to that, it's kind of not yours if it's gone into like foreclosure. So basically the bank owns it, so you're not going to get assistance on your house if it's even close to foreclosure. Some houses are too old to repair. So it's just like a car. Like if your car is old, the insurance company won't necessarily give you as much money to fix it. It's the same thing with a house. If your house has been there for like years and years and years, they feel like the house is not going to be in a condition for you to live in anyway, so they aren't supplying them with money because of the condition of their homes. Puerto Rico has been the center of massive government corruption, compounded by bankruptcy, instability, and debt, plus the obstacle of natural disaster. So a main bridge was destroyed due to the hurricane, making it so people couldn't travel to work. So if you worked across, or the way to get to work was to go to the bridge, you couldn't get to work, which means that your family wasn't getting the necessities that they need because you have no money to supply them.
Also, the government has a certain amount of money set aside for Puerto Rico, but they haven't released it so that they're able to repair anything. Homes have tarps functioning as roofs, so the houses that are damaged. Also, a lot of people aren't able to get proper medical attention because the roads are damaged. And that's an example of a house that has been damaged. Our second claim is livelihood has been tremendously affected by the hurricane. A major tourist attraction is not bringing in the usual revenue because a lot of the businesses have shut down, a lot of the larger businesses have shut down, and the smaller businesses have been able to thrive if they have generators because there is no power. The agricultural business has not been able to sell things when it used to be a major source of income because the land was severely damaged, so it's not what it used to be.
So if it's no money in business, that means that there's no money for the household and no money to survive. So a way that you can explain the large businesses have shut down, but the smallest businesses have been able to strive is to compare it to like our Walmart not making money, but corner stores making a large amount of money now that the Walmart is like not functioning.
And our third claim is survival has become a challenge for the residents of Puerto Rico. Like I said in claim 2, there is no electricity and there's little amounts of food. Prisons are feeding inmates rations and they're asking families of the inmates to bring food so that they're able to feed everybody. And volunteers are setting up food kitchens so that they can deliver packages of food to people or hot meals to people that need them.
And every bit of the help received to help Puerto Rico recover is locally. Nothing is imported to them. So there's no help from like the U.S. Even though Puerto Rico is self-governed from the U.S. and the U.S. territory has its own like government, Puerto Rico doesn't get any money from the United States. The Red Cross, which is an organization that we have that like helps with like people that have fires or people that if there's like a lot of rain and it floods, they give you like a hotel somewhere to stay. The Red Cross hasn't went out to Puerto Rico to give assistance. None of the agencies that the U.S. use for U.S. states and territories have they gone out to Puerto Rico and helped.
Some solutions we thought of were sending boxes of food to the prisons and the kitchens, donating generators, sending over materials and construction workers to help rebuild, and a new ruler.
With the new ruler, they're complaining about their ruler not being like effective or not really helping them or not seeing the big problem or what they're going through. So they've demanded that he resigns or that he is no longer able to be their ruler because he's not helping them strive and getting in a better condition than what they're already in.
And our conclusion is Hurricane Maria has made it impossible to prosper economically and politically. There is not enough money for repair, survival, and livelihood. This issue matters because people are struggling to survive in Puerto Rico after all of the damage caused by the hurricane. People should feel empathy towards the residents because they are a part of the U.S. and the government has not helped them. Puerto Rico is still suffering because there is very little help from the government. If the government will not help them recover from the damages of Hurricane Maria, what makes us think they'll be ready to help us during our time of need? These are ours.
Thank you very much. I have a couple of questions for these presenters. My first one is for Morgan. What information from your reports did you decide to exclude from this presentation and why?
Okay, so go back to the slide. Claim 3 actually. Okay, so our presentation was more on the economic side where my paper was economic and political. But because we both came together with the economics, we chose to drill on that in our presentation. We included like some of the stuff about the government, but most of the stuff of like the government is not helping and what the government is not actually doing to help the people was left out of the presentation and just left in my paper, being that it wasn't something that we both could correspond with. There's information on it that like could be told, like the EBT and SNAP and WIC, how that's a government assistance program, but they're not able to get that money because the money that would intentionally go to them to help them survive with those assistance is getting taken to like repair houses and stuff. So that information we left out of the slide and we just left it in my paper separately.
Okay, thank you very much. And our other question is for Milani. What is one way that you benefited from Morgan's contributions to the report?
Some of the things that she talked about, I didn't think about, like as far as the houses being damaged. Like, I talked about how the damaged houses have tarps over them, but I didn't know that houses that have been severely damaged or that they're super older, wouldn't get as much help as, like I originally thought. Also, when she talked about the new ruler, that wasn't a solution that I had thought of. I didn't think that was necessarily an option for them.
Okay, thank you very much.